Hello, welcome to Self-Love Sunday Chats. My name is Kasia Kolek. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and women's holistic coach, and I have created this space for you to practice gentle but very radical self-love so that you can build rock-solid confidence and create thriving relationships. And today, we are going to talk about three biggest challenges that we as highly sensitive, empathetic, emotional women face in our relationships, and how we can transform these challenges into beautiful opportunities so that we can thrive and we can create a really fulfilling and authentic relationships with people we love. Hi, I can see that some of you are already here. So please say hi in the comments and please give StreamYard permission to use your name and profile picture so that I can see your names, because otherwise I can't see your names in the comments. So as you might know, there has been a lot of research lately that proves something that we already know deeply in our hearts, that around 20 to 25% of all people are so-called highly sensitive people. Hi, Karina, good to see you here. And that means simply that our nervous system works in a bit different way. And of course, as a result, this creates quite unique challenges for us in life. And it brings us unique gifts as well. That always works both ways. Hi, Serena. So in a huge simplification, it means that your brain picks up on tiny details that other people usually miss, and then tends to process these details much more deeply. There is, an acronym to use to describe the main traits of highly sensitive people, and it is the word DOES. So D in this word stands for deep processing. Yes, we tend to think about things more deeply. We process them usually for a longer time as well than other people. We reflect more, both on ourselves and on other people and on the world in general. Then O stands for overstimulation. Yeah, it is easy for us to get overwhelmed. We tire more quickly than others. We respond more intensely to the stimuli or information coming from the outside. Then there is E as well, and E stands for emotional reactivity. So our emotional reaction is quite often more intense than that of other people. And, it's also that we kind of react emotionally to the emotions of others in a more intense way. There has been very interesting research about mirror neurons. We have a certain kind of neurons, and that's latest discovery in neuroscience, that you have a group of neurons which is called mirror neurons. So when you watch somebody doing something or feeling something, these neurons fire in your own brain the same way as some of the neurons in the person whom you are watching. And everybody has these neurons, of course, and they help us to learn by observing other people. But for highly sensitive people, these neurons are simply more active. So that's one of the reasons for our emotional reactivity. And E also stands for empathy. Yeah, we are very, very empathetic. We attune very easily to what other people are feeling. And we respond, yes, we have reaction to what other people are feeling. And then the last one, S, is for sensory processing sensitivity. So first of all, as I said before, we react, we notice and respond to tiny details that other people miss. But also we our senses, yes, are more sensitive as well. So you might be sensitive to loud noises, to light, to crowds. You might be sensitive to certain foods, yes, to caffeine, for example. So even on this very physiological level, our nervous system is more reactive. So I'm sure you know, yes, that this creates very unique challenges in life, but also very unique challenges in our relationships. And it's just so, like, first of all, let me know in the comments, yes, whether you think that you are a highly sensitive person, and if so, what are what are these like challenges for you? So, like, give me yes or no for being highly sensitive, and then just think for yourself, just reflect for a moment, what challenges this trait, yes, being highly sensitive person, creates in the relationships with your loved ones, or with your friends, or with people at work, even, or sometimes even with strangers, you know, on the street. Um, and of course, just remembering that this is both ways, yes, that it has good sides and bad sides, among good sides and challenging sides. It all depends how you learn to manage this trait. It can be like a great, great resource and can bring you many, many gifts. But quite often, oh yeah, we have some yeses coming. So yeah, that's what I suspected. You know, the majority of my clients, of people who resonate with what I do, are highly sensitive people. Yes, that's because I am highly sensitive. So, you know, we tend to understand one another much, much better. Yeah, Karina says yes as well. All right, so in terms of relationships, yes, because we are so prone to overstimulation and to overwhelm, we can react more intensely to all the stress that is naturally coming in our interactions with others. And this, of course, can be a source of a lot of misunderstanding. And also, this that we get this what's on earth going on with you attitude, yes, from other people, because if they are not highly sensitive, they sometimes have no idea what's going on with us, and it's not so easy for them to understand that. Yes, it sometimes feels just totally crazy for them. But once you recognized, yes, that you are a highly sensitive person, you can learn skills and you can learn tools how to manage your unique and very gentle nervous system, and how to interact a bit differently with the people who are around you. So, as I said, we will look into three biggest challenges that highly sensitive women face in their relationships. And we will look also, you know, how we can learn how to use these challenges to our own advantage, and how you know, our sensitivity can actually help us instead of making our life more difficult. Serena says, not hurt for what I'm saying, but how the information is being given. Yeah, that happens. That happens quite often. Thanks for sharing this, Serena. Yeah, that's right. So, so the three So the 3 challenges. The first challenge is how to stay at home. And this is something that is so common for us to do if we are highly sensitive. You know, as highly sensitive people, we are often misunderstood, and we have been misunderstood usually for a long time. So we might have felt different, for example. Maybe we still feel different, but we usually felt different even when we were children, and at that time it was essential for us to fit in, right? When you are when you're a little one, your survival depends on the adults around you. If you feel like you're not fitting in, like you're not accepted, like you're not loved for who you truly are, then it triggers huge fear of rejection and abandonment, right? And often, because of this fear of rejection or abandonment, we have become a bit of people pleasers, or a lot of people pleasers, or even shape shifters sometimes, right? Trying to read other people around us and fulfill their expectations, trying to read other people around us and try to make them comfortable and happy, so that they accept us, so that they love us. And even if we learned it like long time ago, this is something that tends to stay with us for a long time until we actively do something about it. So that's one thing. And another thing is that we have so much empathy for other people. So we sense what they feel. We sense sometimes what they think, what they are all about. And we want to help, right? We are great helpers and caretakers. But what is the result of all this? So the major thing here is that because of all that, you have learned how to give much more attention and focus and energy to what other people feel or need than to what is happening here at home, in your system, in your body, in your emotions. And sometimes we neglect ourselves totally, and we are all the time out there focusing on others, trying to help others, trying to make others feel comfortable or happy, trying to fix others, whatever it might be for you. But we are never here, or almost never here. And can you imagine what are the consequences for the relationships in if that is the case? If you are not present here at home with yourself, but you are always out there with other people, just the first thing that comes to your mind, what is the result of that for the relationships you're in? I'm curious. Let me know if you have any ideas what the results are. The first thing, good morning. The first thing is that it usually leaves you quite exhausted and depleted, right? That's a lot of work of giving and giving and giving and not taking time, not making it a priority to replenish, yes, to nourish yourself. But then also, sooner or later, always, it leads to resentment. And resentment, as we were talking about, last week, resentment is the killer of relationships. Resentment is something that messes your relationship big time. And there is no way for you to be all there, never here, and not to build up resentment. And then also what the result is that you become disconnected from you. So you kind of don't know really well what you want, what you need, what you're all about. And that creates a lot of confusion in relationships, right? Because you're not able to show up, you're not able to speak up, you're not able to stand up for yourself, because of the lack of this deep inner connection. And one more thing that comes as a result of all that is that you end up feeling unseen, misunderstood, not heard, sometimes disrespected, but quite often not accepted fully, not loved fully for who you truly are. And that always creates feelings of loneliness and this like emptiness, yes, in our heart, that we do not feel deeply connected to others. So how to change this? Yes, how to see this as an opportunity, and that's actually quite simple, right? And that's what we are doing in our inner circle all the time. We learn how to pay attention to ourselves, how to love ourselves first, how to make ourselves our priority. And this starts with observing yourself, not so much here in the head, right? We tend to live here, not here, but here in your heart and in your body. You need to start to notice what your feelings are, what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your dreams are, what your values are, what really matters to you. And you're so good at observing what other people feel or need or want. So you have all the skills. You just need to learn how to use these skills for yourself right now. And of course, it requires a bit of practice and consistency, and accountability is very, very helpful here. And you need to know the tools, yes, the skills. So that's why in the inner circle, yes, we support one another in doing exactly that. And it's much easier than doing it on your own. But the concept is very, very simple. Yes, it's just you coming back home to yourself. So you're just bringing your energy that is scattered all over, other people, bringing it back first here, home to yourself. So that's the first thing. And once you bring it back here, the next challenge is to protect your home, right? So if you want to really thrive, you need to feel safe here. You need to feel at peace at your home. You need to be happy here. So this is all about creating healthy boundaries, right? And healthy boundaries usually feel like a minefield for highly sensitive people, yes? Just let me know, give me yes in the comments if boundaries are not an easy topic for you, because they usually aren't for most of us, even for non-sensitive people, but for very sensitive people, yes, they are even a bigger minefield. Um, it's not so easy for us because of this emotional reactivity and this sensory processing, sensitivity. It's not easy for us to determine where I end and you begin, where my house ends and your house begins. Yes. Yeah, we have yeses coming up. Yeah, as always. So we constantly find ourselves, in other people's houses. And we also often let other people inside. Uh, Sometimes the wrong kind of people, sometimes just too much or too often, and they create a lot of mess inside our own houses, right? So I have like many of clients who come for one-on-one sessions, and they usually and they start with saying, I'm too involved in other people's business, or I I'm not able to protect myself from other people creating a lot of stress for me, or I tend to say too much, to share too much. I tend not to say enough. Not I'm not able to speak up, to stand up for myself. Or I get over involved in other people's dramas all of the time. Or I become intimate with people too quickly, or maybe with the wrong kind of people. All this is a clear sign, yes, that there is some boundaries work to be done. So if that's an issue for you, just remember that boundaries are a matter of practice. They are like a muscle that you need to train. And if that you have difficulty with that, so first of all, be sure to join us for the upcoming workshop. I'll be hosting Detox Your Relationship Workshop on the 19th of July. There is a link above this video, and we will dive much deeper then. We will also dive much deeper next week, because in our inner circle we had like an amazing call last Thursday around boundaries, because this is a boundary month in the self-love incubator inner circle. And unfortunately I forgot to hit the record button and I didn't record it. So I will, next week's self-love Sunday chat will be all about boundaries. We will dive deeper into all the information, yes, that you really need to have to be able to start setting them in a much healthier way. And I'll share with you what is my biggest secret to setting healthy boundaries as well. And for those of you who are in the inner circle, I will record again the creative art practice that we did, because it also it's a beautiful, very powerful practice, and I will put it into our meditation library so that you have access to it. Because what we do here on the self-love chats is that we talk about things, and hopefully we start to understand them much better. But sometimes that's not enough, because it's not enough to understand things intellectually. Yes, with this kind of work, you can think about things, you can analyze things, you can learn things, read books all of the time, and sometimes not much change happens. We need to bring all this into much deeper level, into emotional level, into somatic level, which is like into our bodies. We need to embody these changes, and that's why we have so many practices in the inner circle, and also creative art activities, because they allow us to bring this knowledge, this information to a much deeper level and create like long lasting sustainable change. So I'm not going into boundaries today. We will go into boundaries next week. But just remember that protecting your home, yes, is one of the things that is a huge challenge, but also a wonderful opportunity to create thriving relationships. And then the third one, challenge number 3, and it's all about falling in love with your house. So, two things again. We tend to get really misunderstood by others, but also we deeply long to belong. We deeply long for these deep, close, authentic relationship with other people. We are very meaning driven as highly sensitive girls, right? So this is not an easy mix, right? Because of these of being misunderstood so often, we often carry this deep fear of rejection and abandonment. And in order to avoid it, we constantly push down. We try to shrink, our authentic self that feels like too sensitive, too emotional, too overreactive. it feels like we are too much or like we are not enough. Yes. So we try to shrink who we truly are, push down who we truly are. We try to mold ourselves into a shape that will please others. But deep inside, we feel that we cannot show our authentic self to others because they will not accept it. Uh, Sometimes we worry that if we show up fully, it'll be too much for others, that it will be a bother for them, yes, or even that it will hurt them. And just think about it, in your own life, if you really think about it, how many people are there in your life with whom you can show up fully, unapologetically, authentically as you? How many people in your life feel safe enough for you to be able to show up in that way? And do you even know what it feels like to show up like that? Sensitivity, is not a very popular, yes, thing. It's not a very valued thing in our like fast-paced and goal-oriented society. So we quite often have a lot of fear around showing it up. And if you've been doing it for a while, there's shape shifting, there's pretending that you are different than you really are. After a while, it might be difficult even for you yourself to access this authentic self. Um, many of my one-on-one clients, when they come, they say like, I don't really know what I truly want. I no longer know who I truly am. And that's a very confusing place to be in, right? So, or sometimes it feels like I should be happy. Yes, I have everything I need. I have my family, my work, house, beautiful house, or whatever it might be for you. But for some reason, I'm not happy. Well, you cannot be happy until you are you, until you allow yourself to be fully you. So, this third challenge is about stopping to dim your sensitivity and fall back in love with it instead, or fall in love with that for the first time. Uh, and this requires overcoming our fears, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being good enough, right? But that's totally doable, yeah? Your fears are, once you choose to face them, uh, they are not as big as you might have imagined before. Uh, and this is also the only way for you to really thrive and to feel deeply fulfilled in your relationships as well. Because as long as you pretend you are somebody else, as long as you pretend you are different than you truly are, you will never feel like you truly belong, like you truly loved and valued and accepted and seen for who you truly are. So this is this challenge is something that is really creating a huge opportunity for you, not only in your relationships but also for you yourself, right? uh, Being highly sensitive, I truly believe, and I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it like for my clients with whom I work for over 15 years. uh, Being a highly sensitive person can be your superpower. It can make your life really meaningful and rich and full and fulfilled. You just need to learn how to manage your really gentle nervous system. So these 3 challenges is something that it's really worth to start from. So the first one was to stay at home, to bring your energy back into yourself. Hi, Russell. And then the next one was to protect your home, to learn how to create clear boundaries so that you can let in what you want to let in, but you can protect yourself from what doesn't do you any good. And the third one is fall in love with your house, fall in love with your sensitivity. It's a great, great gift. So that's where you need to start from. But also, what helps a lot and what is an essential thing I've learned is that you need to surround yourself with the right kind of people, right? There is a great power in having supportive people, nurturing people, people who really get you around you. And that's because, unfortunately, as highly sensitive people, we sometimes tend to attract to our life. We sometimes tend to let in into our house people who have some serious issues themselves. Yes, so sometimes we let in people who manipulate us, who disrespect us, even those who abuse us. So if this is something that you struggle with, just watch our Self-Love Sunday chat from the previous week. Yes, we talked a lot about healthy and unhealthy love, but it's just good remembering that this is the risk that comes with being highly sensitive. So you need to learn how to manage this, of course. And again, be sure to join us for Detox Your Relationship Workshop. There is a link above this video because you will learn a lot how to do that, a lot about how to do that. But apart from all that, what's important is to have a right kind of people who get you around you. And, this is what the inner circle is about, right? And this has been my dream for so long, and now it's happening in front of our eyes. It's you start to thrive as a highly sensitive person. You have huge potential to thrive in a right kind of relationships. So if you are understood, if you are accepted, if you are valued for who you truly are, you really thrive in this environment, and your relationships become truly, truly fulfilling. So if this is something that resonates with you, I also invite you, to check our inner circle, because this is a beautiful community of women who support one another on this journey, to rock solid confidence, to thriving relationships, and to be just happy and fulfilled in our lives generally. So let me know how this resonates with you, and I'm really curious whether that rings the bell, and which of these challenges maybe is most difficult for you, and causes a lot of struggle and pain, because that will allow me as well to to choose topics for the future Self-Love Sunday chats, so that I can support you best with whatever you struggle with. Thanks, Russell. I'm talking to you from Ireland. I'm in Ireland, although I'm originally from Poland. But I've been living here in beautiful green Ireland for the last 10 years. So thank you very much for today. It was great to see you again on Sunday morning. Please make sure you are signed up for our workshop. Please check in our inner circle, and I'll see you next week. Thanks a million, and bye for now.